see me? Can you guys hear me? Okay? Can you guys put a number 1 in the chat, please? If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chuck. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited for this coming week, the next few months, the next few years, working alongside with each and every single one of you guys. One of our great leaders, Willie Morris, asked if we can please do a recap on the compensation plan and also a leadership part to this session. So we also have my mentor, Mr. Randy Schroeder, on the line. He's going to be with us in a few, but I'm going to go ahead and get the party started, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go over the compensation plan step by step, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Randy Schroeder, and he's going to take over with the leadership session. So Willie Morris wanted us to excuse him. He's in the car with his kids, and his signal's kind of low, or else he would be here speaking to all of you guys tonight. So we're going to go ahead and turn off my camera. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Here we go. All right, one more time. If you guys can just help me, if you guys can tell me, if you can see my whiteboard at the moment, please. I think so. All right, I think so. Yeah. Awesome. So this particular part of the phase of right before pre-launch and the excitement behind it is something that for somebody who's been dealing with anxiety since childhood, it could be a little traumatic, right, for me. So every time that I'm about to do something that I know feels very, very scary, I know that it's going to be something great, because I know that I've confused my entire life. I've confused anxiety with excitement. So I'm excited right now. I'm also feeling like probably at the highest level of my own anxiety, because I know what the expectation is, what I want to do for the organization, what I want to do as a community, what I want to do as a personal leader, and growing my leadership so I can serve more and more people. And if you're feeling like that today, I want you to know that you're not alone. I think that those butterflies, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this, those butterflies, when something big is about to happen, they never disappear. They're always there. But I once read a book that said, great people, they feel the fear, but they do it anyways. So I feel the fear. I've been feeling rejection since I was 4 or 5 years old. So to me, stepping into network marketing was something that I must like to suffer a little bit, right? Because this is like the last industry in which I thought I was ever going to be in, simply because I really do enjoy being an introvert at times. But this industry has taught me that, there's great value in personal relationships. There's great value in learning from other people, and, being in an incubator and keeping everything to myself. I think that that's kind of selfish. And I believe that, I'm made to the image of my creator, and I'm meant to share something that he gave me, right? So I'm here to tell you that every single time that I turn on this Zoom, every single time, and I do it, I don't know, 30, 40 times a week, every single time I feel the same butterflies. So I want you to know that don't wait until the butterflies are gone. Don't wait until you no longer feel them. They're always there, but we do it anyway. So today we're going to go over our comp plan, and I have with me right on my phone, I have the document so that I can just double check. But I've done this probably, I don't know, 20 times this week. So I think that I should have it, pretty down. So before I get started with the whole comp plan, I want to tell you something that when you look at a comp plan, I want you to know that the most important thing about a comp plan, you have to look at the comp plan according to what behaviors does it cause the team to go out there and do. If there's urgency in the comp plan, if there's triggers in the comp plan that make you want to go do something that you were already going to do, but it makes you want to do it faster, that helps a comp plan to really push the momentum forward. So I want you to know that I've studied this comp plan. I've looked at it so many times now in the last couple of weeks. And I can tell you that it has a lot of triggers. It has a lot of things that make you want to go do things now. And with that and the excitement of pre-launch, I think, we're going to have an enormous launch. So I want to get 2 of the bonuses out of the way right away. And these are the 2 bonuses that have to do with customers. Okay. So the first bonus that has to do with customers is called a CAB. Okay. And that's called customer acquisition bonus. That means that every time that you share our membership with someone else, and they like what they see, they want to participate, and they buy, they're going to pay the $59 for the membership. And the moment that they pay the $59 for the membership, the system generates a commission, right? So these commissions are paid weekly, and it's a 3-level commission. So on all your personal memberships that you sell, at the initial purchase, you're gonna make $25. So whether you sell 1 or 10, it doesn't matter. It's $25 per membership. At the moment that they sign up, that's when that commission gets calculated. So this is for customers. Now, if somebody that you bring in, say you bring me on board, and I'm also a part of your community, and I go out there and I market a membership, now you're gonna get $9 for that membership on any memberships that I go out there and I market. If I go out there and I go and I place 10 memberships and 10 different families, well, you're gonna get 9 times 10, regardless of how many me's you have. So you can have 1 of me, or you can have 100 of me. And for any customers that are sold on your first level, you're gonna make $9 at the initial sign up. And then on your second level, any customers that buy on your second level, you're gonna earn a $6 commission, or a CAB, customer acquisition bonus. This happens when someone signs up, okay? But this isn't the residual part of the customer bonus. The residual part of the customer bonus is called customer loyalty bonus. And the customer loyalty bonus begins month number 2, and it goes on for the life of the membership. So every time a customer pays their $59 to have this membership, every time that happens, starting from the second month on, you're going to earn a 25% if it's your personal customer. Then any of your customers that is sold on your first level, you're going to make 15% month in and month out, starting the second month and moving every month after that. Then on your third level, you're going to get paid a 10% customer loyalty bonus every single month that those memberships stay active. And then you're going to earn 5% on your next level and 5% on this last level. So if you look at the numbers and you take a look at, how much would they pay and what percentage of what, this is a percentage of the $59 that they're paying for their membership, for using the services, for using the travel portal, for using the live streaming, for using the shop, for people outside of the US, for using the trading software. Every single time that they pay their membership, you're going to earn a residual starting from the second month and moving every month after that. So, I like to play with numbers, and even though everyone's going to have different results, and I don't know what your results are going to be. But if we just play with numbers for the sake of playing with numbers, if I just build an organization to where in my front level, I have 5 people that are working with me, and then I help them to duplicate. Now, I may have to go out there and sponsor a lot more than 5 to find the right 5, right? But once I find my right 5, if I just duplicate that 5 levels, that means that on my second level, I would have 25 people working. And this has to do with customers. So I'm going to run back to the customers, but take a look at this. Level number 3, I would have 125 people looking for customers. Level number 4, I would have 625 people looking for customers. And on level number 5, I would have 3,125 people looking for customers. What if, as part of my service to the community, I help them so that we can all make an agreement that we're all going to go ahead and go out there and acquire 10 customers each? That means that on my first level, I would have 50 customers. That starting on the second month, I would make 25% on all 50 memberships, month in, month out, every single month. Now, what would happen if I teach my second level how to do the same thing, or my first level, because these are my personals? I would have 250 customers. Then I would have 1,250 customers. Then I would have 6,250 customers. Then I would have 31,150. There you go. 31,250 customers. Now, you can play with the numbers yourself, but if you have these many customers that are buying a service that they want to use, because of the value that is right now and the value that is going to be added as we move along with this project over the course of the next 12 months, I think that is very doable for each and every single one of the members of our community to go out there and acquire 10 customers over time. Now, is it healthy? Of course it's healthy. If we look at what regulation wants, they really want to see like a 701, right? So we're going to go ahead and do better than that. So we're going to go ahead and push our standard to 10-1. So me as a leader, I'm making a commitment to my organization that me as a leader, I'm always going to have 10 customers actively on the books. These are customers that do not want to make money with me. They just want to use the service. Now, how long is it going to take me to go out there and find 10 customers? Quite honestly, it's never been my priority, so I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that at $59 with the value that they're adding to this membership, it's probably not going to take me very long to find 10 people that want to enjoy the benefits of this membership. Now, when you take a look at these two bonuses, these are the bonuses that you get paid on for building a customer base, which is the healthiest thing about a business. Listen, when you're in a business and they never talk about customers, that's like a red flag. Customers are very, very important everywhere around the world. The more customers that you have, the more residual income that you have, because you can have a large organization and you can enjoy passive income, but you may not enjoy residual income, which are two different things. See, passive income means I can stop working, and if my organization keeps working, I keep making money. That's passive. Residual means if I stop working and my entire organization stops working, we can all get paid because we have a customer base that continues to buy the product because that's all they ever wanted from the experience, the product. So up to this very moment, do we have any questions about the comp plan? If you do, write them down on the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. But now I'm going to move on to how we get paid to building a community, how we get paid to help others succeed. So these are the two customer bonuses. They're very important. Never forget them. Never forget them, because if you don't teach this, then everyone in your team is going to go out there and just focus on, hey, get in for 79. Even though they know somebody should just be a customer, they still try to push that extra $20 to get a spot on the matrix, when I rather have a satisfied customer than a frustrated business partner. So make sure that you never forget that customers are truly the lifeblood of our residual income. If you ever want to walk away, and if you ever want income to continue to show up, customers is the way to go. Listen, business partners, sometimes they get upset. Sometimes they leave. Sometimes they quit. Sometimes they retire. Sometimes they pass away. Sometimes they get sick. But customers, even though that happens to all of us, customers aren't worried about getting a check. They just want to enjoy the benefits of the product. Customers are very, very important. So can I get a number 1 in the chat if we understand how important customers are, please? Now we're going to move on to how to build a business. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Cool. Customers. I never thought I would ever be caught on a recording saying how important customers were, but they are. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna get into building the business. Now, I have to bring back a training that I watched Mr. Randy Schroeder do. I don't know how many years ago, but he would talk about a moat. He would talk about how a castle, there's a castle, and then, you will have a moat around the castle to protect it from its enemies. And I started thinking a couple of days ago about the moat for NELO Life. And I believe that the moat for NELO Life has to do a lot with the way that this comp plan pays out. Because truly we can build as a community, and we have a mechanism that makes it sustainable, meaning one of my other mentors would always tell me, "Hi, man, never tell anyone that if you build it once, you never have to build it again, that there's no such thing. But if you build it right, you may not have it forever, but you'll have it for a long time, enough to change your life, So I don't know if companies can last 100 years, but I know how long Amway's been around. I know how long Herbalife's been around. And I'm sure back in when they began, a lot of people thought, oh, they're not going to make it. When they were taken to court, I'm sure people thought that's it for them. When they made a documentary about Herbalife, about how people were shorting the stock, I'm sure people thought that's it for Herbalife, but they're billion-dollar companies. And, if you look at the network marketing industry the last 25 years, no one else is stepping to the plate. We've had a couple of, rockets that went up really fast and came down really fast. But we haven't had a community like what we're building here. I believe that the adversities that a lot of us had to go through to come here, I believe that that's part of the reason why this is going to be a home run, because it shows our tenacity. It shows our grit. It shows our community and how strong we are, because we could have folded and said, all right, everybody go home. But no, we're here. We're still holding the fort. We're still here. And we're more excited than ever. You see how 30 days can change all kinds of things when you change your mindset and you look at what's ahead of me instead of everything that could have been. What could have been, I can't fix. But what's ahead of me, I'm excited about. So let's talk about building this business. So the first bonus that you receive for building a business is your starter bonus. Starter bonus. Now, your starter bonus is paid to you when you refer somebody that wants to build a network. So we know that, to get started with us, the affiliate fee is $20. It's $40 a year, but, our chairman, he decided that to launch this business is going to be $20 our first year, but we have to come to an agreement that we're going to go out there and donate the other $20 to to an organization that you want to donate to. That's the agreement. But it's $20 plus your membership. Now, this is awesome that it's separated. Here's why. Because as we get into the ranks later on in the training, the volume that the ranks are requiring have to do with membership sales, okay? This is commissionable volume. This is the affiliate fee. So when you look at the numbers, to climb up to through the ranks, you have to do the numbers based on $59 memberships, not $20 plus $59, okay? So that's the starter bonus. So here's how it works. This is you show me the business. I like it. And I'm like, hey, listen, I like the membership, but I also want to make money. So I pay my total of $79. The moment that I pay this, you're going to receive a bonus of $25. That is your starter bonus. Okay. This bonus is also paid out weekly. All right. So a lot of us that, have been sitting for a couple of months here, like wanting to get going here, generating an income. This is income that we can start generating right away. So if you go out there and you sponsor me, I want to do the business, you're going to make $25. If you go out there and sponsor 10 of me, you're going to make 25 times 10. What I like about this is that, most of my teams are in Latin America. The last year of my life, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with all my contacts all over the world right now. And, God opens doors, right? So here we are. So I like this price point for worldwide, but I love it for Latin America. Because Latin America, like if you talk to my friends in Peru, average monthly salary in Peru, $300. So for them to get started in a network marketing company, that's $500. That's an entire month's salary for them. That's asking quite a bit. And even then, there's thriving organizations of people getting started with $500 and paying $150 to $200 a month to remain active. You know why? Because they're hungry. Because they understand it's a sacrifice, but if they ever want to make more than $300 or $500 a month, something's got to change. So they look at network marketing. So when they look at this, they see it, they don't think about it twice. To them, this is a huge blessing that just fell on them. So I'm excited about being able to serve worldwide. So every single person that you bring on board, you're going to make a $25 starter bonus if they want to become an affiliate. Okay, so that's a starter bonus. Now, the second bonus, and this bonus to me is really one where I'm going to be really focused this entire week to making sure that anyone who I personally sponsored into this business qualifies to open up their entire compensation plan. And I'm going to help them do that. Now, because I'm going to help them do that, I qualify for a bonus called a unified bonus. Unified bonus. Now, this unified bonus, now that I have this person here, right? I just sponsor this person. This is what has to happen. I have to help this person to first open up his first 10 levels of the matrix. How do I do that? Well, when I help this person to sponsor his first 2, right? He opens up 10 levels of the matrix. I'm going to talk about the matrix in a minute. 10 levels. Just keep that in mind. Now, when I help this organization for these 2 to also have their 2, I just helped my personally sponsored person to open up all 16 levels of the matrix. And I just fired myself a brand new bonus called a unified bonus of $75 if I help him do that in his first 30 days. So here's one of those things I was talking to you about, right? This is a trigger. This makes me as a leader, and it makes my distributor do things that we were already going to do. It makes us do it a little faster. In 30 days, I believe that anyone who actually tries can do this. Find 2 people and help them find their 2 people, a structure of 6. Now, what's in it for my personally sponsored person? Well, getting paid on all 16 levels, and I'm going to talk about that. What's in it for me? That every time I help one of my personals to get this structure done in their first 30 days, I earn a $75 unified bonus. Now, what happens if in week one, I help 10 of my personals become unified and open up their 16 levels in the matrix? Well, I made 75 times 10, $750. This bonus is also paid out weekly. That's not too bad. We can get some things going, right? There's a lot of people that go to work every single week and they don't take home $750. So a unified bonus can help, especially right now, to really get going and start making money immediately. Now, that's the unified bonus. Now, all of these bonuses are amazing, but what I believe to be something that's going to call a lot of people to look at what we're doing here, it's our unified build. So this is our third bonus. It's called the unified build, but is also known as the 2x16 matrix, okay? The 2x16 matrix works this way. So the 2x16 matrix, it begins with one position, and then the matrix begins to fill from left to right. In the first line, hence the 2, there's only 2 positions, right? So there's 2 here. Now, on the second line, each one of these has 2. That means that on the second line, we have 4 positions. In the third line, and obviously I'm not going to go through all 16 levels of this, but we would have 8 positions, and then 16, and then 32, and then 64, and then 128, and then 256, and then 512, and then 1,024, and then 2,048, and then 4,096, and then 8,192, and then 16,380, what? I think it's 88 or 84. And then it's 65,536. So this would be a complete 2x16 matrix. Now, if you do the math, so if you add 2 plus 4 plus 8 and all the way down, the matrix completes itself with 131, 70 positions. Now, here's the cool thing about a force matrix, that the person who invited you also only has 2 positions. That means that you could benefit from some of the work that somebody else is doing. So whether you brought the person yourself, or somebody in your team brought the person themselves, or even if somebody from above placed a person themselves, every single position that gets filled out on average is going to pay out $1 a month. Now, you can get it up to $1.47. So if you do the math, you can make from 131 maxing out to 180 if you're a stud superstar and you have all kinds of persistence, perseverance, and you're willing to work around the clock. Now, what I like about this is that most people are never going to max out this matrix, but they're going to make something from the matrix, whatever it is. And you know what I love most? That initially, as soon as somebody comes on board, even if they haven't even gotten started, the matrix is going to open up a certain amount of levels so that they can cover their membership with the earnings from the matrix. That gives us sustainability, because if the matrix is paying out 60 and to stay active, they only have to pay 59, why wouldn't they stay active? Right? So people that get positioned in the matrix have potential to make money even from people that they don't know, even from countries that they have never visited. And that's the beauty of where you are right now. Now, where you are right now is special. Why? Because right now, no one's in. So right now you're looking at a matrix that's just about to get going. So, they say that in business, the T and timing is more important than the T and talent, and I'm living proof. And right now, this is timing that is in our favor. So right now, it's not time for us to go out there and think about it too much. It's time for us to act. Even if they delay the links another month, which I wish they would, because that creates a lot more sense of urgency and it gets people moving. I know that they're not. This week, we're going to have links, and this is the matrix bonus. So you can make from $1 per position that's in your matrix all the way to $1.47. Okay. Now, that's not the big money. This is actually, and I'm sorry for being so candid, but this is only the hook. This is the hook. Why? Because this is going to get the attention of those who are still looking for a lottery ticket. Those who are still looking for something for nothing. Napoleon Hill says that there is no such thing as something for nothing. So the moment that you let go of the notion that you can get lucky in this industry, that's the moment that you begin to become successful in this industry. There is no such thing as luck. You know, Randy Schroeder says if A, then B, then if B, then C, and if C, then D. It's not luck at all. But this is going to get a lot of people to look at us. Why? Because people always they always think if I just get in, I'm gonna get paid something for nothing. When, you know, in fact, they're gonna bend over to pick up the pennies, and the dollars are gonna fly right over their heads. Right. So don't be like that. But the Matrix is a great hook. Now, let me show you where the big money is. And then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Randy Schroeder for the best part of this meeting. Now, when you begin to enroll, the community matrix, it's nice, but that's not the most important matrix. The most important matrix is your personal matrix. And even though, to be honest, I don't even know if in the back office I'm going to be able to see who are my personal, I don't know. But I'm assuming that, you know, in the back office, I'm going to have one long line like this where I'm going to be able to see who did I invite to this matrix. It doesn't matter where in the matrix they are, but, you know, what I want to know is who are they, right? Because I can invite 10 or I can invite many more. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that because this is $79, it's more in line with affiliate marketing, it's more in line with some of the people that are very good online. There's people that are going to invite thousands of people personally to this matrix. And this is the cool thing about that. Whether you invite 1, 5, 10, or 1,000, if this person here that you personally invited goes out there and in the matrix, he makes $1,000, well, you can check match everyone that you invited 20% on what they make on the matrix. So if somebody makes $1,000 in a month in the matrix, you just made $200. If this person made $100, well, you just made $20. If this person maxes out the matrix at 180K, well, you just made 36K. And for everyone that you personally invited. And what I love about it, even as a brand new affiliate, this commission is available for you. You know, so even if for some strike of luck, you only invite one person and that person maxes out the matrix, well, you know, you're eligible for 20% check match. I believe that, you know, to be like the first time in the industry where you can check match somebody all the way and without even, you know, with only inviting that person. That's crazy. But let's continue. Now that's on your first level. So if you have 10 people in your first level, then you have a potential to earn 10 checks of 20% check match on whatever they make inside the community matrix. Okay. Now, anyone who they invite, so they start inviting people, right? Anyone who they invite, that would be considered like your first level. This would be like your first level. In my opinion, this would be like your second level, but I know we're calling them personals, and then here they're calling them first levels. So let's just say you have 10 people in your first level, and those 10 people, they didn't invite 10 each. They only invited 5 each. That means that your second level, you would have 50 people that are also in the matrix. And whatever these 50 people make in the matrix, because they're your first level, you're gonna earn a 10% check match on whatever they make. Now, as you climb up the ranks, you can also make yourself eligible to earn another 10% on the next level down, 10% on the next level down, and 10% on the next level down. Now, again, I like playing with numbers. So I'm going to just play with numbers and, you know, kind of give you a visual of why I can't sleep, why I haven't slept. Let's say I go out there and I sponsor 10 myself. I know that I can earn 20% on whatever they make in a matrix, and I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them by doing what? Helping them become unified, helping them opening up their entire matrix by helping them get two who get two. I'm going to be there for them when they need me for presentations in their homes, presentations on Zoom. I'm going to be there to help them, right? But if my 10 people only duplicate by 5, that means I have 50 people in my second level. If my 50 only duplicate by 4, that means I would only have 200 people in my third. If my 200 only duplicate by 3, I will have 600 in my fourth. And if these 600 only duplicate by 2, I would have 1,200 in my fifth. Now, if I do the math, that's 1,800, that's 2,000, 2,060. 2,060 people, in which if I add up the 20% plus the 10, 10, 10, on average, I'm getting paid 12% check match. Now, if these 2,000 people, if they only earn $200 a month in the matrix, meaning they're not going to make 131,000, they're only making 200, that means that I would have, let me see here, that's 0, 0, 0, 0, like $400,000. And if I check match 12% of that, that's over $40,000. Now, what if you don't invite just 10? What if you invite 30? What if you invite 50? What if you invite 100? You know, and they duplicate less than you, obviously, because whatever you do, like the speed of the speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. The reason why right now I have over 35 people committed to coming on board is because I heard Randy say that he was going to put in 100. So I don't want to stay that far behind. So I was like, at least I have to do 50. So I'm in a hurry to at least get 50 personals my first week in the business. But it's because Randy is setting the bar. If you ever want to become a better runner, go run with someone who's a professional runner. Even if you never become a professional runner, you'll run better. You'll get your posture better. You'll learn more about better shoes to run, you know, a watch to monitor all your stuff. You'll learn more about running by running with a professional. Randy Schroeder is a professional. He's going to go out there and probably recruit 1,000 people his first few months. And I'm going to be super happy for him. And here's the thing, guys. This is the biggest check. If you focus on your own matrix, yeah, the other matrix, that's sweet. That's nice. I like it. I love it. It's, you know, it has its purpose, but I'm going to focus. Hey, can I max out this matrix with my own people? Can I bring in my 2, help them bring in their 2? Can I just do the 2x16 with my own people? And if I focus on that, I'm almost guaranteeing that something great is going to happen for our community. So ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to turn the call over to someone who obviously needs no introduction, but he is an amazing mentor to me. You know, I love him like a family member. You know, he changed my life. He changed my family tree. And not only that, but he's an expert in this industry. He can teach all of us how to make a lot of money and how to do it with style, with class, and integrity. So if you guys can help me welcome Mr. Randy Schroeder to the room, please. Mr. Randy Schroeder, are you there?
Yeah, of course I am, Jaime. Thank you.
Awesome.
I was here learning the comp plan. I'm all excited now. I'm going to make some money because this is sponsoring I've been doing.
Awesome,
you know, folks, I'm really happy to be here, and we find ourselves now poised at an interesting moment in time. I referenced on one of my sessions a couple of days ago that I wrote on the board the number 8. And the reason that I wrote the number 8 on the board is because over the course of my life and business experience, I've had 7 what I call big meetings, 7 big meetings, where as a result of that meeting, the entire trajectory and course of my life changed as a result. And I never knew in advance of that meeting that it was going to be one of the big ones. And I didn't know, mostly I didn't know when the meeting concluded that it was one of the big meetings. But now with hindsight, looking back, I can see that that was a big meeting. And, you know, one thing that has become evident to me now, and it's just become evident in the last, I'd say 120 days, because Jaime and Cynthia and I, actually Jaime and I met a few years before I met Cynthia, but Jaime and I met a long time ago. And now I know, 20 years later, that that was one of my big meetings. It was, because the day will come when Jaime replaces me as one of the absolutely preeminent leaders in the industry. And so sometimes it takes decades before you knew it was a big meeting. I knew it was a good meeting, but this was the moment. This was what Jaime had been preparing for the last 20 years. My question to each one of you is, what have you been preparing for the last 20 years? And if you have been preparing for a moment in time when you could fully leverage all of the talents, and by the way, let's all understand and recognize this. Our current results, whatever those results are a complete reflection of, number one, what do we know? And so 20 years ago, by the way, I take no part of this at all. I just happened to be there. Jaime was going to find a leader. He was going to find coaches and mentors, and he was going to succeed. I just happened to be the lucky guy that was there that day. I know that. But on the day that I first met Jaime, he didn't have the knowledge. He didn't have the knowledge necessary to really succeed. And so what had to occur first was he had to gather more knowledge. And he set himself about on a pathway to gather more knowledge. And I'm proud. I don't like the word pride. But pride does have some positive connotations. I'm proud when I listen to Jaime speak because he has gathered the knowledge necessary to become a real leader. And so the first thing that I would ask each of you is, do you feel like you have yet gathered the necessary knowledge to truly lead other people? You can't take somebody where you have not gone. You can't teach somebody something that you don't know. And so how resolute have you been? How resolute do you remain today in gathering the knowledge necessary to be able to help other people succeed? And by the way, it doesn't take knowledge. That takes a little bit of wisdom to know that if we focus on our own results, they'll never be satisfactory. If we have the the wisdom, the humility, the grace to instead shift our focus away from us so that our focus is on the outcome of other people. And then our positive results are a happy side effect of that. Then great things happen. Well, when I met Naomi first those years ago, he didn't have the knowledge necessary to succeed, not just in business, but in life. That's the truth. Now, in the years since then, he has gathered the knowledge. Is there more knowledge to gain? Yes, of course. And I'm talking about Jaime right now because he happened to be speaking. I know there are many others of you I could be talking about right now. Some of you are yet opportunity unrealized. When I met Jaime Morales 20 years ago, he was opportunity unrealized. Some of you had heard me say that about you. And whenever I say that, I don't mean it in an unkind way. Your opportunity unrealized. You have talents that you've been granted from God that have yet to be refined into skills that become beneficial to other people. And so if that's the case, then you right now represent opportunity unrealized. And there are several of you on this session that in private meetings I've told you, you are opportunity unrealized. And sometimes you look at me a little bit funny. But the great news is that opportunity unrealized can be realized when we take a few proper actions. The next thing that had to happen was that knowledge had to be refined into skills which become beneficial to others. You see, all of that knowledge that Jaime just evidenced, and I saw the various text messages, and people gathered knowledge in that session that was useful. You see, now that became a result of not just Jaime gathering the knowledge, but developing the skill required to deliver that knowledge to other people. And so if I'm posed with the idea of this was a leadership content, and leadership is not about, yes, it's about acting on the moment, but it's also about being prepared for whatever the next moment is. When I say the next moment, I don't mean something besides NELO Life. I mean the next thing that NELO Life introduces. What is the next moment of opportunity? Well, my question to you is, will you be prepared? Will you gather the knowledge necessary so when the next moment of opportunity comes along? And by the way, that next moment of opportunity is unique to you. It's not about the whole company. It's unique to you. Your next moment of opportunity is when you hear for the first time somebody say they needed NELO Life. It's when you hear somebody says, I'm getting married. But what you heard was, wow, marriages cost a lot of money. I'll bet that mom or dad would love to provide that to their child. And so you heard a need for what we offer. You see, it's when you start hearing other people asking for what we provide, as opposed to you feeling intimidated about approaching them and telling them what we provide. Literally all day, every day, I have people knocking on my door, metaphorically, telling me how and why they need NELO Life. They'll tell me that their daughter's getting married, and I think, wow, wedding dresses cost a lot. They'll tell me that they just had a grandchild, and I remember how much I wanted to provide funding for my grandchildren's education. They'll tell me how much they can't stand sitting on the 405 if they're in Southern California. And what I hear them saying is, Randy, please tell me about NELO Life. Well, when the day comes that your knowledge, confidence, and belief in yourself first, and in the process second, in the company third, when those things happen, and maybe they're of equal importance, knowledge, confidence, and belief in yourself, in the process, in the company, when those things are full, when they are completely full, then at that point, suddenly you'll start hearing people asking us about NELO Life. So knowledge, that's what we know today. Skill is what we know how to do. But the part that gives me the most joy is that and I would never say that Jaime was a person lacking in character. I'll freely acknowledge that I was once a person lacking in character. But the fact is, the crowds he was running with and the way he was living his life at that point years ago was not one that would attract people of goodwill and intent to him. And so it wasn't just that he had to gather knowledge. He had to work and work and work and work and work to refine that knowledge into skills which would become beneficial to others. We just saw that, didn't we? We just saw knowledge that had been refined into skill that became beneficial to others. And the absolute truth is, I don't know one person walking on this earth had a single negative thing to say about Jaime Morales. And so therefore, what did he do? He gathered knowledge, he developed skill, and he became willing to allow me and others to confront him and identify areas of needed personal growth such that he could be in more positive association with more people more of the time. That is the leadership development process. That's what it's all about. And so now you take that process, you put a magnifier on it, depending on the level of urgency to your own personal need. You can take, first of all, it takes 5 years to gather 5 years worth of knowledge. I don't want to tell you you can't cut that corner, but we can become a little bit better literally every day if we decide to. Okay. And then Jaime said something else as I was listening. He talked about setting a target, and he said that his target was 35, that he's going to have 35 people to enroll the first day. Many of you who've been listening to me have heard me saying what? Over and over and over again. What have you heard me say? You've heard me say, and by the way, this is an interesting session for me because I just decided as I was listening to Jaime that now I've got to change. It's no longer I've had 7 big meetings. I've had 8. One of them was 20 years ago when I met Jaime. Didn't even realize that until the day. It just became crystallized for me. But on this same session, I have another one of those big meetings. That's an interesting call. I don't know for sure that I've ever had two of my big meetings on one call at the same time. Jim and Dorta Moyles are here. Jim was one of my big meetings. 33 years ago, I met in his condo on the top of a high-rise building on Clearwater Beach. And that day we formed a partnership that became a friendship. And we've done a few $1 billion in sales together since then. I've had some pretty incredible experiences, made a whole bunch of money. And so I've got two of the big meetings in my life. Well, my question for you is this. Are you prepared for the big meeting? Because it might come this hour. Are you prepared for the big meeting? Because it might come tomorrow. Are you prepared for the big meeting? And then if not, then I would say that's task number one, because the magnitude of the opportunity will not be realized equally by all, will it? Absolutely not. There will be some who have a straight up ballistic run in the next little while. There will be some who are also registered in NELO Life who will not have that experience, because you see, a rising tide does not lift all the boats. A rising tide only lifts the boats that are in the water. And so you ask yourself, so how do I know if my boat is in the water? Well, I'll give you some simple guidance. One of the magic things about NELO Life is that we now have a global opportunity. Have you yet made touch with your first person outside of the United States? If you have not, then I promise you, your boat by definition cannot be in the water. It's not humanly possible for your boat to be in the water if all of your members are in the United States of America. You say, Randy, wait a minute, Randy, I've never been outside the United States. I've never, well, here's the question. Have you decided for yourself? I've got to send I've got a special guest coming on here, and I got to send him a quick Zoom link. Hold on. Don't give up on me, folks. I apologize for this. I just asked, and you know what? I will say this while he's not here yet. One of the things that has impressed me most about this company is executing not at all like any startup I've been a part of. Some of you have heard me over the course of the last 7 and 8 months. So what I've said was that the company I was involved with was acting like a startup, and that it was not acting like an A, B, or a C, but it was acting like a C- startup. I will tell you, this company is executing and is performing like it's been around for a long time. I'm literally blown away. It's hard for me to say that. I'm literally blown away. The execution of this company so far has got my eyes completely open to the possibilities. But back to the thought. I'll just ask one to raise hand when here. Raise hand. And so if you don't yet have a person on your candidate list who's out of the United States, or if you've not talked to somebody yet, not enrolled somebody yet, well, your boat's not in the water. If most of the people live within 500 miles of where you are, well, your boat's not in the water. So I imagine your boat's up on dry dock, until the water level goes up a long way, it's not going to touch your boat. So every time we engage in a revenue producing activity, that winches our boat down a little bit closer to the water. And so what are the revenue producing activities? Well, the revenue producing activities are to add somebody to our candidate list. Now, here's what I know. If you want that first revenue producing activity to be a natural result of your positive mindset, if that's what you want that, then cause your belief level to go up. You've heard me talk about the fact that in the Western United States, thank God, we've had a lot of rain and snow the last 2 years. The reservoirs are filling up. But for the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk about the possibility of Lake Powell and Lake Mead, backed up by the Glen Canyon Dam, backed up by Hoover Dam, that those might both fall so low in the lake that they would not fall over the spillway. And if the water level is so low, it doesn't go over the spillway, then that can't produce electricity. And that's what's called being dead pool. Well, there are a lot of people that I meet, that I interact with, in network marketing, out of network marketing, who have allowed life, for whatever reason, to squeeze the hope and the joy out of them, and their belief level in all things, the belief level in themselves, the belief level in possibility, the belief level that I believe this. It sounds kind of funny, but I believe this. It's centered my being. I think that God made me and wants me to be happy. That's what I believe. That's really what I believe. And so if he wants me to be happy, then he's going to provide various mechanisms for me to do that. That keeps my belief level always above the dead pool. And so for me, I don't think it ever really looks to anybody else like I'm working. And it doesn't ever feel to me like I'm working. Because why? Because it is spontaneously flowing over the spillway. That's a complete function and reality of what is our level of belief. Now, I see that Nick Sorensen just joined. And Nick, I was bragging about you before you got here, but I will now. In my experience, because I seek to go all the way to the top, that means that my career has been one that has been dominated by participation in startup ventures. And if we're going to participate in startup ventures, then that means one has to have fairly thick skin, and one has to be able to put up with a lot of grief typically. And I will tell you that this company's execution as an organization has been absolutely extraordinary. It has been, I would say that it's at the top of my career ever in terms of a pre-launch, and that is, this company is operating as well as most large successful companies that I've worked in, companies that we've had to grow to get to that point. And I will say specifically that Nick himself has been an absolute superstar in terms of helping me, which means he's been helping each of you. I was here a second ago and raised his hand. Now he's disappeared. Nick, are you still here? Oh, there's Nick. And Nick, I just invited you on here to say hi. Say whatever you want. But I just wanted these are a great group of people here tonight, and we're just kind of a little bit of a strategy session, determining how to put the key in the lock in the next couple of days. So I'll just turn it over to you for whatever you want to say, for however long you want to say it.
That's good to see y'all. It's been a long, what are we at? Less than 3 weeks since we said go, and not a lot of sleep, but it has been a lot of fun and definitely very rewarding for y'all. So rewarding for us. My eyes are bloodshot from lack of sleep, getting all the stuff done and executables. But our goal is that, once we get past this big heavy lift, that we can definitely provide something that will be a lot of fun. I know I've talked to Randy quite a bit about the vision of where we want to go. I love our industry. I love what it does for people. I love the fact that it brings massive opportunity for those that, whether they have minutes or hours in a day, that you can go create something great, or it doesn't matter what you have going on, you can create something amazing here. But I also know our industry, in my opinion, has been in what I call red ocean for a number of years, right? Just kind of competing with itself. And our goal here is to birth a model to where we can get out in the blue ocean and go, access more people and more opportunity, bring more opportunity to them. And those that do lead the charge, right? Everyone here on this Zoom late at night on a Sunday night shows you how committed you are, have the ability to definitely benefit from that. So we are excited. It's definitely been a, I guess a dream come to fruition. It was definitely the way that we decided to launch this thing, probably wasn't, exactly, as is. But Randy said it best the other day. He's like, hey, although you have rushed things to market, nothing has appeared to be rushed. And so it speaks volumes about the team, our tech team, our corporate team, our marketing group, all of our creative group. Literally everyone has just definitely jumped on board and gone above and beyond. And our goal is to create tools and systems and put people in place that we can continue to go above and beyond to create a massive opportunity for you all. So we are excited to get inch closer and closer and closer and closer to launch. There will be bumps, of course, right? Always. If we had been preparing a year for this, there would be bumps. But just know we will definitely work through them. We've had, some fun, crazy times the last few weeks, for the last few months, for that matter. But I assure you we'll definitely be working around the clock that we can to deliver something phenomenal and something great. And you guys are in phenomenal hands. I've got to know, a handful of y'all's leaders in the last, weeks, if not months, just some top-notch people that are fully committed to, not only leading and driving, but also paving the way to set up you guys to have success, as much as success you want to have. So appreciate letting me jump on for a few moments, Randy, and say hi to the group. It's always good to see some great faces late on a Sunday night. Most people say Sunday nights are hard because people are tired or nervous or stressed of the coming week. But when you see 100+ people late on a Sunday night, excited and fired up, it means that you guys all are phenomenal. Great, phenomenal group, and it's a pleasure to jump on.
Fantastic, Nick. Thank you so much. And folks, once again, I asked Nick after the session began if he could pop on here for a minute. I am accustomed to having to carry all the weight myself. That is the truth. I am accustomed to carrying the weight myself. And I don't feel that way at this company. From on high, from the corporate level, I feel like we are carrying it together. I don't feel like I am carrying it. I don't feel like you are carrying it. I feel like we are carrying it. And that creates a different attitude. Now, very specifically, remember that we have 3 foundation pieces for the development of a large, successful organization. Those foundation pieces are not going to change anytime in the foreseeable future. It's going to be the same. The first foundation point is the rapid flow of new member applications. And one thing that I want to strongly encourage you all to do is recognize that though this is a 2x16 build, I would not like our message to be, go find 2 and help them get 2. That needs to be a tiny little subset of our message. I hope that all of you have indelibly etched in your mind the chart that Jaime just drew for you and showed you what would happen. What if you enrolled 20? What if you enrolled 50? What if you enrolled 100? And remember what Jaime said, that he set a target. His target was 35. How did he come upon that target of 35? He set a target of 35 because his leader set a target of 100. That's my target. Well, folks, there was a message there, wasn't there? He's really, really, really good. The target he set for himself coming out of the gate was 35% of my target. And so what do you suppose, Michael? I happen to be looking at Michael Worley right now. What if your target is 10? Then what can you expect out of your people? 3.5. What if your target is 2? What can you expect out of your people? Less than 1. And so I will tell you that in large measure, the way this plays out for you is going to be determined by the targets that you set. And by the way, those targets should not be not belonging. And as I've just talked about before, a goal that is hidden in the recesses of my heart is so unlikely to be achieved that it is not even worth mentioning. On the other hand, a goal that I state publicly, that's a goal that now has large possibilities of being mentioned. A goal that I state publicly again and again and again and again. My own life experience has shown to me that my publicly stated objectives get hit almost all of the time. Almost all the time. And so that's why the very first day when I first said yes to this, that was the first day that I also said on a Zoom, I will personally enroll 100 people the first day. And I've said in just about every Zoom or every meeting since then that I will personally enroll 100 people the first day. And I can tell you that I will today with that. I mean, it's no longer a question. It's not at risk. I think I've probably already submitted the names to Nick for me to personally enroll 100 people the first day. And if I haven't, they're coming in the next 24 or 48 hours. And so, and by the way, sometimes because my message throughout my career has been that I've never had a single person call me and say, well, Randy, I think I've got to quit. I've just enrolled too many people. Nobody's ever said that to me. Nobody's ever called and said, I've just enrolled so many people. I think I better quit. What happens instead is people, if they quit, it's because they didn't enroll enough people to give the compensation plan a chance to play its way out. And so, and along the way, it's not been unusual for somebody to say, my critics in the industry, oh, that Randy, he just throws people up against the wall. Well, ask anyone who I've ever enrolled if they feel like they were thrown up against the wall. That is not the truth. Every person I've ever enrolled feels like they're the only person I've ever enrolled. See, that is the essence of leadership. It is, and by the way, I didn't just assign that to myself. That's what I was taught. What I was taught was, Randy, do more than anybody can possibly expect, and then treat every person that you enrolled as though they were the only one that you've enrolled. And that guidance that I was given so many years ago has proven to produce now about $5 billion in sales, and it's produced an income that is almost unimaginable. And by the way, I just want to tell you all this. I don't know how far up is. I don't know what big means to you. But over the course of the last decade and a half, while it's been a decade of great joy and satisfaction, a wonderful decade for me. I've spent that whole decade looking back over my shoulder. Why? Because my biggest income years were between 1998, 99, 2000, 2001. Those were my biggest income years. Why were they my biggest income years? They were my biggest income years because I had the best opportunity that I'd had up until then in my life to create that. I will now say today that it is my sense, I don't know yet, but it is my sense that we will look back at this sometime in the future and say that perhaps these days that we're living through right now were among the most impactful, among the most important days in our career. And if I could somehow snap my fingers and get out of my head what's there to yours, if I could snap it one more time and get out of my heart what's there to yours, then you would know why it is that I get up earlier and I stay up later. Then you would understand why it is that if I've launched a group in India and it's 3 a.m. here, but they need me, that I'm there. And if I've got to be on that same day with a group in Poland or Germany, I will be there. And when one of you call me and ask me for help, I won't say, sorry, I don't have time for you. I'll say, sure, how can I help? And who are the candidates you've got for me to talk to? Make a decision, set a target, do what you want others to do times 10. Do what you want others to do times 10. And if you do that, then others will do enough. But until and unless you do what you want others to do times some multiple of that, then it will be folly to anticipate that happening. The first key to the first foundation piece of development of large business is to have a rapid flow of new member applications. I would extend to each of you a personal challenge to realize that you have not started in this company until you personally enrolled 20. The day you've personally enrolled 20, that's the day you can send me a message and say, okay, Randy, I started. What comes next? That's when you started. And after you personally enrolled 20, then I would challenge you to know and understand how to show those 20 people how to become unified. Because if you personally enrolled 20, you help those 20 get unified, and you are then visible in your target. Your target being what? 20 is what got you in the door. 20 is what got you in the club. Having got in the club with 20, then you can talk about how to help those 20 turn those 20 into 50. And I believe that we'll look back at this moment and we'll say that was one of the pivotal moments in my career. I probably talked way too much here. What I want you all to know is this: whether or not you believe it, I believe you can succeed. And when I said succeed, what I'm talking about is success in magnificent fashion. I didn't say I think you can struggle and struggle and struggle and just make it. No, I believe you can succeed magnificently. Why? Because it is my own belief, whether or not it's yours. It's my own belief that God chose, for whatever reason, to grace you with talent sufficient for success. That's what I believe. Now, the good news is that you have the talent required to succeed. The more challenging news is that talent makes absolutely no money. What if Jaime had all that talent, but hadn't chose to work and work and work and work and work and work and work to refine those talents into skills that became beneficial to others? Then you see there would still be nothing there. And so it is my belief that a kind and loving God has chosen for his own purposes to give us the talents required to succeed. He has then given us the freedom to make a decision about whether we choose to work and work and work and work to push ourselves relentlessly against the grinding wheel of life, so that those talents get refined into skills which become beneficial to others. If we gather knowledge, develop skills which become beneficial to others, fully realizing the extent of our talents, and every day as I go on, I discover more talents yet undeveloped in myself. That means I'm completely confident there are multiple talents yet undeveloped in you, which can create tremendous future outcomes for you and your families and people you care about. Gather knowledge, develop skills, become willing to accept the fact that when our character, if there's a single thing in my character, you guys can see things in me that I cannot see. If you see anything in me that would make it more difficult for me to be in positive association with more people more of the time, I want you to know that I would like that feedback. And if you say something to me that doesn't tweak me a little bit, Thomas, if you send me a message that says, "Oh, Randy, you know, I just think you're stingy." Well, I'm not. And so it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't tweak me. But if you said, "Randy, you know what? You're a little bit arrogant," would take my breath away. Why? Because arrogance is a self-defense mechanism for a poor self-esteem. And I've worked for 30 years in my life to try to eradicate it from my character. But if you see it inching back up in me, as much as I won't enjoy hearing it, I need to, because that will stop my further progress. Become willing to confront yourself and realize that your own self-confrontation is pretty useless. Become willing anyway. Find a coach, a mentor, someone you know cares about you, and become willing to ask them, what do you see in me that I cannot see in myself that stands in the way of me being in more positive association with more people more of the time? And then be quiet and listen. And remember, if it doesn't hurt you, it was just off. On the other hand, if it tweaked you a little bit, that's an area of needed improvement. So that's all I got to say for tonight, folks. This is a magic moment, but it's a magic moment that will not be realized equally by all. Let it be a magic moment that accrues to your benefit in a profound way. Thanks. Give it back to you, Jaime.
Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate you. And before we go, I want to share the screen one last time, because tomorrow morning we have a special event with corporate, and we want to make sure that you're aware of it. Okay, so right now, especially during these times, you want to make sure that that you're plugged in. So tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, we're having a special corporate co-creation call. You know, if you can be there, be there. If you're at work, we understand, but you may have people that work nights. Invite them on. You know, this is a great call for them to be able to connect with corporate. And for us to start living out the three core values of NELO Life, you know, trust, transparency, and transformation. And that happens through community. So tomorrow, let's plug in. We also have events throughout the day. Please connect with the person who enrolled you and stay plugged in. You know, a little ice cube doesn't realize he's melting if he's away from the refrigerator too much. So you want to make sure you stay close to the source. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Nick. And thank you, Willie Morris, for setting all of this up. God bless you guys. Have a great evening. We'll see you guys throughout the week. Let's launch.